that.
Yeah. Woo! Hey, what is up, humans? Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for waiting. We got a little situation, but we're here with the one and only Moe Girton.
Hello, hello, hello.
Wow, thanks for making it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been preparing for this. I feel so honored to have you here. So I'm just like I was so nervous, so I'm glad that we're here.
We're here. We're here. We're ready.
We're ready.
Love
And
it.
we're gonna play some Jenga while we do the interview.
Okay.
Are you good at Jenga?
It's been a long time, but I'm down to give it a shot.
Okay, so since you're my guest, you can go first.
All right.
And I was reading your bio and your story. It's just so impressive. And you can pick one color, and you can give me your pink, of course, like the flamingos.
Yes, exactly.
You've been around in Southern California. Oh, you can sign it
Oh,
and then
got it,
put
got
it up
it.
here.
Got it.
It's okay. Yep. Awesome.
All right.
There you go.
I forgot about putting it on top. It's been a while.
It's okay. That's why we're doing this because I remember when this came out and it was such a cool game to play back in the day, and it just gets you like on the edge. All right. So you've been around Southern California you've been around, but you aren't originally from San Diego, right?
No, I'm from all over Southern California, mostly Riverside. I moved here in 1999.
All right. And what was your childhood like in Riverside?
Oh my gosh, I grew up on a little mini farm. We had horses, and I raised rabbits and swam on the swim team. And of course, I was that lesbian back then. I was playing every sport possible: swimming, softball, soccer. So yeah, it was great. Rode horses and did some barrel racing and swam.
That's pretty cool, actually. Like your parents owned the farm?
Yeah. We only had like a half. Oh yeah, it's my turn. We only had like maybe an acre or something like that. But yeah,
That's pretty
we
awesome.
had some horses and some rabbits and chickens and all that fun stuff.
And why did you move to San Diego?
Change of pace. I was sick of Riverside. There wasn't anything there for me. So I ended up down here. I loved it down here. The weather's great. I had a good friend that lived down here. So
And you started your career in the industry in 2000. What made you choose that industry? Like, why do you go for that industry?
well, I do believe everything happens for a reason. I wasn't looking to get in the bar industry. I was actually in retail and still a swim coach in management for retail. And I ended up applying at a bars, looking for a second job, wanted something fun to do, something different. And I applied, didn't get hired. A couple months later, she calls me, got hired. So I started out actually as a door girl, coat check, security.
Yes, that was your first security.
Yeah, first night was security.
And you were actually gonna quit that one night, right?
I was. So when I got there, I was working security. I was sitting on the corner and watching like crickets run around. I'm like, this isn't for me at all. I'm not doing this. So I decided, since it wasn't a fit, that I was going to go let my manager know that it'd be my last night. And I got about 5 feet away from the door, and this woman walks out, and love her to death. She had a fabulous frosted mullet. It was great. And she walks up to me, whacks me on the arm. She goes, "You look like a barback. You want a barback?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I want a barback. That's amazing." So she took me right there at that moment and taught me how to barback. I never said a word to anyone that I was going to quit that night. And that was my last night in security, though.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you were like, I'm not about that security life.
No.
And so you worked your way up to a bartender.
I did. I started as a barback, coat check, still did coat check, and door girl. And then finally, I got my shot to be a bartender. So it took about 8 months, and yeah, within my first year, I was nominated for Bartender of the Year.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you have a signature drink?
Back in the day, I did. Back in the day, well, I still do. I always do. But I used to make this drink called the Vegetarian.
Okay.
Long time ago. And it is actually now the Pussy Punch at Gossip Girl.
Oh.
So that is that same recipe from back in the day. We switched up the vodka, but yeah, it's the same drink.
And you actually have another one, right? The Morita?
Oh, the Moe Girton. Yeah. Wait.
You actually have
Okay, are we ready? 3 lime wedges, a 2 count. You're gonna muddle this guy up. All the lime juices out of it. Tequila. So you're gonna do a 6 count, which is 1.5 ounces. If it doesn't say 100% agave on the label, it is not 100% tequila. 2 count Cointreau. And then we're gonna add 1 ounce of mango puree. We'll put this on with no ice. It's all about the shake. You always want a good shake. When you shake, you want a good shake. All right. All right, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna rim our glass. It's a chili seasoning salt. Okay, so you're gonna put that on top. You're gonna pour this whole thing in here. And the rest is orange juice. Sprinkle just a little bit, a little more of a kick. And then all signature drinks come with a fish. So this is the mango Moe Girton. Anyone want to give it a shot?
Oh, I did my research, girl. Tell me about that instance.
Oh my gosh, Barmageddon. That show was fun. It was interesting. So we switched with this bar in Mission Beach. And I mean, it's a small little bar and we're a massive nightclub. And so it was easier for me to go in there than it was for him to come into, as a straight man, come into a lesbian bar. But we all had a great time, but that was an interesting experience for sure.
Yeah, I bet. So you've been on TV a few times already, right?
Yeah, we've done a few documentaries and that show, and yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So you started working at Baja Betty's in 2014, and then you got the opportunity to open up Gossip Girl in 2009, which is now one of the top women's bar in the nation. Yep.
So I started with Betty's in 2004, and the Flame, I used to work for the Flame, for 4 years, and the Flame closed down. She sold it, and the same weekend, Baja Betty's opened. And when I interviewed for Baja Betty's, there was about 1,600 people that interviewed, and they only hired 55 people and 11 women. And I am the standing woman with this company.
Yes.
So I worked there 5.5 years, worked my way up, built my sales, built my clientele, built my business within a business. And then they came to me and said, we want you to open a lesbian bar. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I was like, no, I worked at the Flame. I'm happy where I'm at. I love my hours. I make good money. I love my guests. Great. So they came back to me again, turned it down. Third time, they came to me with dangled some ownership. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But one condition, it's got to be a women's bar and not a lesbian bar. Mm-hmm. So that was 2009. And it was a battle. I had some discussions with my business partners and had to explain to them what my vision was and where our community is going. And after some yelling and, chosen words, we finally came to an agreement and Gossip Girl was born.
How were you able to stand your ground and really go for what you want and be heard as a female?
You know what, oh gosh, I keep forgetting about this part. One thing I'm extremely grateful for is I've got some balls and they're on my chest. They're my chesticles. But I stand, for me, I forget that I'm a woman sometimes, and I just go into it as, hey, we're equal, and this is the conversation we're going to have, and I need you to hear me. And I'm pretty lucky at doing that so far.
And do you think that how long did it take you to create the vision for Gossip Girl?
We went through a few different stages. We were originally going to be in a smaller location, and so we had a whole theme for that, and then we ended up getting the location we got, and it had to change it. And so, I don't know, I had all these ideas. I wrote everything down. I went to a coaching seminar, a Brian Buffini coaching seminar with Chris Shaw.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was it was like a 2-day thing. It was awesome. And in that, they asked us to write ourselves a letter where we're going to be in 5 years. So write a letter to the person you are going to be in 5 years. And that was the first time I said Gossip Girl.
Oh, so, seriously?
Yeah, it was really interesting. And I wrote that down and I was like, that's it. That's it. That's going to be the name. And then just everything else, the whole brand kind of came along with that. So it was pretty cool. But the other thing in that letter too, which is really interesting, is it says, you know, business-wise, Gossip Grill is doing great. The second location is also doing great. And, you know, it's like, you know, whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
But something about 2 locations. And
That was before you got the second. Before
Right.
You moved. Oh,
So-
okay. You manifested
right.
it.
So
You wrote it down.
manifesting things like the universe doesn't, you have to be specific because sometimes
Yeah.
the universe doesn't hear you in that way. That wasn't the way I was thinking. I was thinking about having a franchise.
Yeah.
You know, but how the universe heard it was we have a second location, and sure enough, we have moved to a second location.
That's amazing. And I love about how you talk about the power of manifestation and writing things down. I think for me, it's your turn, by the way. I'm the type of person that likes to go with the flow. But I also, like, I'm starting to really realize the more I'm learning about, like, business and manifestation and putting the word out there, that you also need to set goals, like, long term. That's also been a struggle for me for so long, because I used to worry so much about the future, and now, like, I want to live in the present, but it's also so important to, like, set yourself goals.
You have to have balance between being present and in the present and seeing yourself in the future. It's a balance. But one thing I always do is I always live now how I'm going to be in 5 years. It's a little difficult at this moment with COVID, you know, a little wrench thrown into it, but I know where Gossip's going to be in 5 years, and I know where I'm going to be in 5 years, and I try to be that person now, you know, to help bridge that.
And how can you become that person every day?
Well, choice. You just have to, you know, keep reminding yourself. I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, you just got to commit to it. This is getting... Oh, there it goes.
Well, I think we worked so hard for this Jenga. I think it's time for a treat. Nelson, can you get us something from the fridge?
Woo!
Yeah, I know that you love wine, so...
I do love wine. Love wine.
Yes, so, you know, we're going to have some wine.
Oh, excellent.
Yep. Wait.
Oh, and I
Wait,
spy a
that's not
rosé?
No,
Oh, wait,
no,
no.
yeah, it's a rosé. It's the pink flamingo. Oh, there it is. Yes. You know, we worked too hard on this. Like, we need a break.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You're speaking my language.
All right, so... Oh, perfect, yeah. Okay. I'm so excited for this. Yes. All right. We got to cheers.
And you have a pink flamingo in your bottle?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm
even
like, it
better.
has to be. What's up with the flamingos, by the
Yeah.
way?
Okay. So that's a great story. I keep hitting this thing.
Okay.
Back in the day during World War I. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now to drink with this fun thing.
Pink flamingo.
Delicious.
Yep, not too
I love
sweet.
it.
not
No,
too
it's
dry.
nice and dry. Yeah.
Yep.
It's great. Okay. What were we?
Oh, the flamingos.
The flamingos, that's right. So during World War I, around that time, people would put pink flamingos in their yard to signify that they were a gay-friendly household. So if you were traveling through and saw someone with a pink flamingo in their yard, it means you can knock on their door, you know, stay, be safe. That's what it started out as, and it just kind of kept that meaning. But do you know what a bunch of flamingos, like a group of flamingos, is called?
No.
It's called a flamboyance.
Oh, that's the story.
That is it. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
That's amazing.
So go figure.
Go figure, right? And I want to go in a video of what Gossip Girl is all about. This was from last summer, so people that are watching right now can take a peek of what it was before.
Miss Rona.
Yeah, Miss Rona.
Miss
yeah.
Rona.
Miss Rona. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yes.
Your girl's favorite DJ, Les Ortiz.
Barranquilla.
Wow.
I miss
I
those
know, right?
days.
It gives me chills just looking at it. And you've done such an amazing job with Gossip Girl, and I just want to say how I find it so inspirational for a female, like a queer female, to be doing this. Like, and the road of business ownership isn't easy.
It's not.
And especially for women, like, we're not usually pushed towards that direction.
Nope. And not respected in that way either. It baffles me how many times I get, wait, what? You're an owner? Wait, really? I thought it was the boys. No. And not only just an owner, but majority. You know, so yes, I'm a majority owner, and yes, I'm a woman. And it is something that I deal with, and I also deal with it from certain reps, like liquor reps come and go, whatever, but, you know, or salespeople or whatever. And, you know, I was at this store buying an oven. Our oven went out. So I was like, okay, let me go look at ovens, whatever. And I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, hey, why don't you send the boys down here? Why don't you send Chris and the boys down here? I'll sell them this oven. I'm like, it's not their call.
Yeah,
it's my business.
your
It's my
business.
card. Yeah, it's like, I'm paying for it. I'm buying the oven. And it was like that whole thing of like, send the guys down. Like,
Yeah. No.
so it just baffles me how much I get it. And sometimes my business partners, for the most part, are all male, and I have to explain to them that, you know, because they don't believe me sometimes. I'm
don't
like,
understand.
are you kidding me? Like, yes, listen to me. You get a lot more respect than I get. I have to work harder for it.
Yeah, that's,
you know.
that's true.
Stand my ground more, speak my mind, not give in, not letting anyone take advantage of me. And so,
Yeah, that's big, and I that's definitely something that I'm learning every
Mm-hmm.
day, you know. And I have a lot of respect for you because
thank
like
you.
you're an example for other women out there. Like, we need people to look up to. You
Thank
know?
you.
So we know that we can, because I've been definitely taking some small business planning classes.
good for you, girl.
So
Love
it's
it.
yeah, but it's definitely like it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a lot, and it's nice that you have a partner
Mm-hmm.
too that can help you and guide you, like a mentor.
Yeah, my wife, right? Not business partner. Wife.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
making sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have this amazing business partners, you know.
Yeah.
So Chris Shaw is one of them, just incredible. But yes, my wife, we're like so much stronger together. You know, we're a force. You know, my wife is a corporate executive for a hair brand called Dry Bar. And
Oh, nice. I've heard, yeah.
yeah, you know, and she's been doing this for many, like 30 years. So, you know, between the two of us, she's a corporate executive, and
Wow.
you know, I'm a business owner, and together we've been through a lot of the same training. Like she went through Landmark, and I went through the Entrepreneurial Edge, which is the business side of Landmark. So we speak the same language.
Wow.
You know, there's a whole language
You're-
that comes with that. And we speak the same language. We have the same amount of gratitude, like practicing gratitude and practicing respect for everyone. You know, that's very much, Dawn and I are we really believe in people, and we're kind.
Yeah, you like to
Both
see
kind.
the best in people, right?
Yeah.
But do you sometimes get taken advantage of because you give too much of yourself, or you're
Of
really
course.
empathetic,
Of course.
right? Like, how do you find that balance? Because sometimes I love being empathetic and I love being a good person, but there's times where I need to retract myself or be like, okay, you know, like, I would like to give people chances,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you even know sometimes, like, who to trust?
You gotta trust your gut, you know, and sometimes you're gonna be wrong and sometimes you're gonna be right. But I have been taken advantage of a lot. I am that boss that wants to give every single one of my employees the benefit of the doubt, and I believe in them. I love them. I believe in them. So when something happens and I have to have that conversation with them, I give them a chance, or like chance after chance after chance, and I feel like they take advantage of me and they don't fix it, and it hurts, but I wouldn't change it because I still believe in giving everyone the benefit of the doubt and a chance, you know? So I just trust my gut and try to listen to myself. I think I'm gonna get taken advantage of, try to nip it in the bud. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's hard when you have a big heart, right?
Yeah, my assistant manager, Darcy, who is the most incredible manager I could ever ask for, she teases me all the time because she's the strong one, like the tough one. I'm the one, I'm like, they call me dad, you know, and I am definitely dad. Like, mom is a little stricter. Mom's like, okay, you know, go
You're
brush
the
your
cool
teeth,
dad,
whatever,
yeah.
do whatever. And I'm like, well, okay, you can have some ice cream before you go to bed. I'm that one. So they do pit us against each other, but Darcy's like my bulldog, and
Yeah.
I'm just the big lab in the back that's like, okay.
Yeah,
Little softy.
Yeah, I love how you've been able to have the business ownership even with your character,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like a lot of times people that are good in their business,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're also dicks, you know?
Yeah, that's very common, and that's kind of what works for us and what works for Moe's Universe. We really come from everything Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Acknowledgement. Do not manage with fear. Do not scare your employees in anything. Give them ownership, give them responsibility, something that they can connect and be there. You know, this whole COVID thing has really, really shown me how loyal my staff is and how much a family we are. We have 11 staff members that have been with me for 10 years.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere in Hillcrest, really, like, I work at Riches. I've actually gone and said gossip too
Really?
a few times.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay, I knew you. I was like,
yeah, I've gone
Nice,
and
you-
said the Woman Up events.
oh yes, yeah.
I've used the glitter before. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I've go danced at your,
I love
your
it, I
venue.
love
Me and Nelson actually, like, we do Jello shots at Riches, and it's just like such a beautiful environment. Like, Hillcrest is just so welcoming, and that's what one of the things that we love is that it makes us feel like we're at home. Anywhere, anywhere. It's a community.
Well, you're home away from home, you know? It's like, that's why we always say, welcome home, beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome home. And I mean, we can't wait to welcome everyone back after this COVID thing. We're over it, but unfortunately it's here, so.
Yeah, and so speaking about more about the business ownership, because I love this subject, because you're my first female business owner that I've had on the show, so I'm just like, whoo.
Well, thank you.
I'm so excited. So what are some of, if you can name like the top 5 skills you had to learn that are important for a business in the industry?
Open your ears and listen. Number 1, listen. Number 2, be kind. I know that sounds silly, but kindness pays. Like, I have great relationships with all my vendors and my staff, and there's just a mutual respect there, and it just works. You said 5, right?
Yeah.
All right. 3, watch your numbers. I mean, it is what it is. You got to know your numbers. You got to know what's going on. 4, have a 5-year plan. Always should have a 5-year plan. And 6, be grateful.
Be grateful.
Yeah, be grateful. Be grateful for everything in your life.
I love that. I express my gratitude every day. I think that regardless of everything that's going on, I'm still really grateful for being alive and for all the amazing things that are in my life. And just life, it's just such a roller coaster all the time, right? You have your highs, you have your lows, but you have to always like be grateful of all the things that you have, even like the most basic things like having water and having a roof over your head, being able-bodied, like all the basic things that we sometimes take for granted because we're so busy like focusing on the little things.
Yeah. And you get so caught up in those things like, it's like, oh my God, we live in beautiful San Diego. It is 80 degrees outside today.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
It's nice. And what are some of the tools that have helped you in your personal growth? I know you mentioned the seminars. Is there anything else like helps books or YouTube videos?
Well, there's lots of things. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I was a swim coach for 9 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
I taught a swim team in Riverside for 6 years of that, of 250 kids from age 5 to 18. Wow. And you want to grow up, that's what you do. But it taught me really how to manage people and talk to people. Like, you know, people are like, how'd you learn to do your job? How'd you learn to become a manager? I was a swim coach. I also coached 4 years of high school volleyball.
Wow.
So that also helps too, working with a whole bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, it tests your strength and patience. Huh?
Yes, absolutely. And you know, the difference between a drunk adult and a 5-year-old, not much. One's drunk, but not much. You can't reason with them. So you learn a lot of skills doing that. So that was a lot of it. And then I've had the same business coach for 10 years. And she highly recommend a business coach. Amazing.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I was actually working with a business strategist too before COVID, and he helped me to see a lot of things in a different way because I have the I have the attitude, but I don't have the business knowledge. You know what I mean? So I need to like find my path in that way. But that's. Do you have any like crazy story of when you were a bartender?
Oh my God. You know what's so funny about this? I have so many of these that they all kind of run together and I forget them. Okay, here's one. Here's a funny one. God, there's so many.
Oh no, I'm going to take a little sip.
I don't want, okay, so I'm not going to tell that story because that's a little too personal.
Oh, well,
hold on. I'm sure I can come up with another one. You know, I haven't bartended in a year and a half, so they're running dry these days. I one time had a guest ask me to microwave her daiquiri. Here's another funny one for Pride a number of years ago. This is probably The one time I did not make the best choices in my behavior, but I had a guest slammed. It's Pride. It's at Betty's, you know. We're like 10 deep. It's busy.
Yeah.
And I had this girl that was on the corner of the bar, and she's like slapping her hand down on the table and snapping at me. And I'm like, girl,
No.
I'll be right with you. You got to, I'm working the circle. So I worked my circle, and she kept at it. So finally I go up to her, I'm like, it's her turn now. And I'm like, what can I get you? And she's like, I want a Dos Equis and a Tecate. I still remember it, by the way. A Dos Equis and a Tecate. And I'm like, which one's yours? She's like, the Tecate. I said, great. So I turned around, popped them open, set them down, grabbed her Tecate, put my leg up on top of the bar, and drank her whole entire beer. And it was the best beer I ever had in my life. I was so thirsty. And I sat it down. I said, that'll be $10, and turned around and kept bartending.
Oh my God.
And then when I came back around the second time, I finally got her beer for her. But everyone was like, I'm like, that's right. Like, please don't snap at me like that. It is Pride. Give me a break, girl. I see you, you know. I am going to get to you.
That's insane. That's awesome, though. Like, you showed her.
Yeah, that was really good beer.
Yeah, that was
beer.
I'm sure that was satisfying. It's just, you're right. It's just funny how you said, like, kids and drunk people, pretty much the same thing.
Look at me. I'm like, I see you. Moe.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that it worked out, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully she didn't write a bad review.
Oh, she was fine. She was good. She apologized. It's all good. I bought her a beer later. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You know, can't hold a grudge.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you face with your business?
COVID right now, or just in general?
In general.
In general. Number one is being a women's bar. You know, women, it's a tough... gay boys tend to go out a lot more than women.
Yeah.
But we also want to find that balance, too, between being a women's bar and an LGBT bar. But definitely keeping the women interested and keeping it up with everybody. Our age group is from 21 to 91. So it's not like we have, you know, we're catering to 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. It's everyone. So trying to find things that, music and events that work for everyone. That's always a challenge. Number two, gosh, what are some other big challenges? Other two, people that are coming in that aren't respectful of our community.
Yes.
That's a really big thing, and that's actually probably our biggest challenge all the way around.
Yeah.
We have been on some, you know, Barmageddon and done some reality shows and some documentaries. People know we're a women's bar, and they want to come in to catch two girls making out or doing whatever, and, you know, whatever. And then they end up not behaving properly, and then they have to go home, which is never a good thing. And
yeah, that's because you want everyone to be welcome, right?
Yes.
But then, like, how do you keep that sense of community when there are people that come in and act like fools? Like, at Rich's, like, on Wednesdays, like, when we get all the college kids and they don't know how to behave and they treat like it's a zoo, and it's like, you lose the magic. But at the same time, like, I understand that you need to make revenue, right? You need people to come in. You need the word to be spread that there's this space. But also, like, how do you balance, like, keeping the sense of community and, like, bringing new people in?
Well, this is the challenge. You know, we ask to be equal. We ask for equality, right? Like, we wanted to be able to go to straight bars, and we wanted to be able to go everywhere the straight people did and be treated equally. Which it passed, and, you know, we can get married. It's getting there. We're getting there. But still, that is there. With equality also comes the opposite side, you know? So I'm not going to discriminate against anyone coming in if I have no reason to. You know, based off what you look like a straight guy, you know you can't come in here. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Everyone's welcome to play on our playground.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Right. Yeah. So how we come at it is everyone is welcome to play on our playground, okay? As long as you're respectful of the fact that we are in the LGBTQ alphabet, we are capital L and capital T. Those are the two parts of it that we really focus in on, and that's the lesbian and the transgender. So as long as you're respectful of that, we'll play nice together. If you're not, then you got to exit the playground. But we do have signs in the bathroom, you know, like, don't be a creepy person, it's weird, don't stare, you know, things like that. We don't, what was it? We don't care if you have a dick, just don't be a dick.
Just don't be a dick, yeah.
That's like my favorite.
I love that one.
We put these everywhere, you know, and they're not for our community. They're for the community that is not part of our community that's coming in. So it's a balance. And then that's why we have security. And, you know, that's why I have some big boys, too. Because sometimes you need them.
Sometimes you need the big boys.
Yeah.
So how I love that you guys have all the little, like you said, like the rules, and then all the funny items that you have, like all the like liquor and all the names of the food and drinks. How did you guys come up with that? Like, was it you or someone else?
Oh no, that was all us. Let me tell you the secret.
Okay.
Drinking. So I used to bring my staff over to the house and get them, nice and toasty, make them dinner and give them some cocktails. And then we just start brainstorming and we just start getting together. And that's when you come up with great names like Harriola and, Coochie Crawler and, oh my gosh, Finger and Cider, which is always one of my favorites. And that's like cider beer.
Oh, Finger and
so
Cider.
It was a cider cocktail, but it was Finger and Cider.
Yeah. I love it. So it's awesome that you take into consideration your employees' ideas too.
Oh, absolutely.
So
We're
important.
a team. I count on them for everything. I'm not one of those people like, this is the way it's going to be. Well, sometimes, but not usually. I want their input. I want right now I have completely given over the Gossip Girl shop that's coming soon. We're opening like a shop online.
Oh, nice.
And they're designing the shirts and they're designing the fans and the mask. I'm stepping out. So, that's great. And I want them to come up with night ideas and specials and food ideas and cocktails. I share that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And especially because I'm sure that they're very committed.
Oh, yeah.
So because of the person that you are too, you give them that freedom.
Yeah.
And that's not like the norm usually with business owners. They're very like, this is the way, and it's great that you give them the freedom to also pitch in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, whenever I interview someone, whoever's interviewed with me can attest to this. One of the first things I say is, I am not a micromanager. If I have to hold your hand, I'm going to pull you, I'm going to walk you outside and wave bye-bye with it. It doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. And those are great words. If you're going to be a business owner, that's what you need to remember that. That doesn't work for me. Just going back to that.
Okay, I love that. No, thanks for the advice.
That doesn't work for me.
I'm taking mental notes.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, micromanaging, not my thing. And if you're not self-managed, you're not a fit. I can teach you how to do a job, but I can't teach you how to have certain core values.
Definitely.
So, and personality.
Yeah, right?
I can teach you how to serve, but I can't teach you to be nice.
Pretty much. So what are your core values?
My core values, number one, is community. It always is, always has been. And this is more of a work aspect. My personal number one core value is integrity. I think you can't get anywhere without looking like a fraud if you don't have good integrity.
Yeah.
It's the one thing no one can take away from you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And no one can take it away from you. Only you can take it away from you. And, it's important to know that. But other ones are loyalty, honesty, energy. I like to be contagious. That's another one of my core values, be contagious in a positive, loving way, and catch myself when I'm on the bitchy part or whatever. Yeah. I'm contagious that way too.
We're human, right?
Make sure.
Sometimes we're human. Do you want some more?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, it's we're human, and sometimes we do have our moments but it's I feel like it's easier to brush it off.
Yeah.
Especially working in this industry,
you can't give it energy. You can't. Being in the bar industry is tough because people, especially now, are entitled. Oh. They're entitled. And when they start drinking, they want to tell you how to do their job and who they are and blah, blah, blah. And who cares? That's fine. That's their story. No big deal. But the difference is when you give it power. Because when you give it power, you lose your power, and then that has power over you, and it controls you. And that is the biggest thing for bartenders and servers to get over. I always tell them, be a duck. Be a duck. If you think of a duck on the water, it's just cruising along, and that water just rolls right off.
Yes.
But under the water, the feet are going 100 miles a minute. Like they're swimming, right?
Yes.
So you want to be that duck. But when people say things to you, you got to let it roll off you. You won't survive in this industry. It's security. You work at Rich's.
Yes.
Security's got it the worst. People are so incredibly mean to them, and they have to sit there and be called names and spit on, and just it's inappropriate and it's horrible. But they just have to be a duck out there, and that's just what I preach over and over and over again is don't give them your power. It's yours. Own it.
Yeah, it's true. If you want to survive in the bar and nightlife, you need to have a thick skin. You need to be able to let it roll out. I definitely had my stories at Rich's, and when I first started, I would just get so overwhelmed. And he actually taught me, Nelson, he taught me a lot of how to deal with the customers and just be like, okay, one at a time.
Yep.
All right, if you're gonna be like this, I'm gonna kick you out. And then when people try to steal my shots, I'm like, do you want to get kicked out? And they're like, you know.
Yep.
So you just gotta.
You have to own it. Like, you own your tables, you own your bar, you own it. They don't own you. And if you lose control in that aspect, it gets real slippery.
Because the customer isn't always right.
No.
It's just not. It's just
And then you
not.
get frustrated, and you kind of, fall behind.
Yeah, but
not
then
good.
you also have to like think about like the reviews, so like the angry customer that like goes on Yelp and types.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't like please everyone at the
No.
end of the day.
Just try your best. Again, be kind. I once had a guest that everything possibly could go wrong went wrong.
Oh.
The first time, she was starving. It was breakfast. She was really hungry. It was her and her boyfriend. And the first time, it got ran to the wrong table. The second time, it got dropped, like as it was being carried out. The third time, it got made wrong. And the server's in tears. I didn't know what was going on at
Disaster.
first. And I was like, what's going on? She's telling me, and she's crying. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go fix this. So I was like, I walked to the table, and for those of you that know me, I'm all about a good shimmy. It's all about a shimmy. So I walked to the table, shimmy, and I said, I heard we totally fucked up on your food 3 times. And just, there was nothing I could do. And I ended up just saying, can I buy you a shot? And best piece of advice I can give you, there's nothing a good shimmy can't fix.
I love
because
that.
she is now my regular. She was not happy. And she was like, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I said, I got it. I just kept shimmying. And she's like, are you going to have a shot? I'm like, of course.
You were able
we
to
had
turn her
shots.
around.
Now she's a regular and love her to death. So, all on the shimmy.
Oh my
But
God.
things happen, so.
Yeah, you gotta be empathetic.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think for me, I'm an empath on the spectrum. I'm not like I can handle being around people, obviously, but it's definitely like before I used to hate being sympathetic, but now I see it as a superpower.
Absolutely.
Because you're able to read people and you're able to like turn the mood around.
Yep.
And, like, it's definitely.
That's
it
another
helps.
thing that is really important with ownership or being a business, women in business. You got to be empathetic. You got to be able to connect.
Yes.
But I think as women, we usually do.
Yeah.
Too,
it's easier.
Yeah.
I know. So I was doing some research, and before there used to be like 12 women's bar, and now it's just Gossip Girl, right?
In California?
Yeah, I think in California or San Diego.
Yeah, it has to be California.
California.
Back in the day, the most I ever saw at one time in my 21 years being here were 3.
Oh, okay.
And that was The Flame,
maybe it was in
Bombay or 6 Degrees, depending on the time, and Patty's Front Office.
Okay.
So,
How have you been making Gossip Girl survive through the years?
well, I think the key for us is, being a women's bar, but being back, working at The Flame, when I first started bartending at The Flame, I started the first girls' night out at Flicks. I didn't start it. I got hired.
Yeah.
To be clear on that. Flicks started it because they went against The Flame's boys' night out. So it was the first time that women were able to go into a boys' bar without being judged, for the most part.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
even in the community, there's still segregation.
Yeah, it was still pretty
Yeah,
segregated.
yeah.
So I started there, and then as the girls started coming in, they started realizing that they can go to these boys' bars, and then the other boys' bars started doing women's nights too. Moby Dick's and Bacchus House, and like all these bars, Bourbon Street, they were all doing these women's nights. So then the women kind of stopped supporting and being loyal to their women's bar.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? You lost them both. And within a short amount of time, Carla sold, and 6 Degrees I think sold 6 months right before The Flame did, and that was it. And that was it for years. And then they kept coming to me and being like, oh, I miss women's bar. I'm like, you need to support. You got to support. So that's always my thing now, support. But the big key for me was not boxing herself in on the word lesbian.
Yeah.
Lesbian is a small little box. And when you look at a women's bar, it's a huge umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
And underneath that umbrella, you have pans, trans, straight, bi, gay, queer, whatever pronouns that have yet to be created,
Right.
but it's all under that. So the way I look at it is, it doesn't matter your gender. If you connect with your women, your female side, if you connect with any ounce of you, whether it's 10%, 20% being female, that's your bar.
That's beautiful.
That's our bar, because everyone's different, everyone's different.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it, and that's our key. And boxing ourselves in something smaller, we wouldn't have survived.
Definitely.
And that's the breakdown I feel that is happening throughout the United States right now.
Wow, that's amazing, and it's true because we don't really have any space that are specifically for women because majority of bars like mostly male centered, in a lot of things really in life. So it's nice to have like that safe space for the women and the LGBTQ
Q plus,
or like
yep.
Q plus. I use queer as an umbrella term.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, so. And it's great because we don't really have anything like that, and you don't really have any competition right now.
No, which is good. Let's
great.
keep it that way. I
know,
like that.
right?
I like that. And the other side of that too, and I do want to put this out there because I think it's important that I hear, and they know I hear them, but there is a group of our community that really wants us to kind of retract to the way it used to be and have lesbian,
like
bars.
strictly, yeah.
Yes, but I hear that, but I can't provide that anymore. Those days, they're not here anymore. Yeah. We ask for equality, we got to be equal, and our community is not in that box. A lot of our community are members of the trans community or non-gender conformity or, fluid.
It's big. It's big.
It's big. And so we have to be more inclusive to everyone.
Yeah.
So, but I do hear them, and I understand their frustration, but unfortunately, this is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Not unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Fortunately, this is where we're at.
No, it's amazing, and I just gotta say that you've been able to make a career out of this industry, and a lot of times, did you go to school?
I did not. I
Yeah.
did some college.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just a natural thing. I started working at 14. By 15, I had 2 jobs. By 16, I was in management, and I had been management the whole time.
Wow, you started early.
So I started early.
Yeah, you've been a boss for a long time.
I actually started my own swim lesson business when I was like 17 or
Wow.
18.
That's
I had a few
amazing.
people working underneath me. I already started the hustle.
Yeah, I think it's great because it also shows people that you can make a long-term career out of this industry. A lot of times, it feels like a dead end.
Right.
And I mean, for me, like I graduated, like I have a degree, and some family members are like, when are you gonna get like a real
Right.
job, or when are you gonna like get an office job or whatever? And it's like that's not really what I'm passionate about, right? So it is possible to make a career out of this industry and be successful.
Absolutely. My wife also, same thing. No college, and we're both pretty successful. Yeah, it's totally possible. But you still should get a college degree.
Yeah.
But anything's possible. I always tell my staff too with this, treat the bar industry or gossip like a lily pad. Land as long as you need. Take every tool. I will teach you everything. I will help grow you, teach communication skills. What do you need? Like, let me do that for you. Suck it all out and then continue on your way. Unless that's where you want to stay.
Yeah.
If that's your fit and that's your home, then we're here for you. And we'd love to take you on the journey. But otherwise, land on the lily pad, get what you need, and then keep growing.
I love that. You give them that choice.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, this industry isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like you're doing 8 hours a day, and everyone yelling at you and jumping around. It's a lot. Yeah. And people do get burnt out pretty easy, but.
Of course. All right, so now it's time to look at some of your pictures. And we're gonna tell me the story behind every picture. Let's see. When was that?
Oh my gosh. That had to be like 2010 with the fabulous Emily in Redfern. Emily actually was the very first person I hired. And we had a secret meeting on the rooftop at Baja Betty's to tell her that we were opening Gossip Grill. Oh. And she would be my only pick from the community. She just retired like maybe a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Let's look at the next one. Oh, tell me about that. You won an award.
Nikki Award. Which one is that? I can't.
I think that sounded... Businesswoman of the Year.
Oh, that's Businesswoman of the Year. Okay, from a couple years ago. Yes. That was quite the surprise.
What's surprising? You're a boss.
I know. Yeah, that was
People nominated you, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There were a lot of great women in that category, so I was very honored. That was very cool. Gossip actually won for the very first time ever, won Bar of the Year this last year.
Oh my God!
And it's the first time a women's bar has ever won that in San Diego.
Wow, amazing!
I was really excited.
Yeah. Let's look at the next one. Oh, were you in a TV set?
Oh yeah. I do a lot of. Somehow I became the spokesperson for Moe's Universe. So whenever there's a TV spot, it's me. So yeah, it looks like I'm making cocktails. I think I poured something on my head that time. A martini on my head, if I remember right.
How did you get your style, the Mohawk style? Was that from your coach from back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to have long hair, and then I came out and I cut my hair into a mohawk, and then I went back on that season, and my kids were like, "What happened to you?" Because I was all like more conservative, coachy looking, and then I came in with like cut off red dickies and big old boots at my knees and a mohawk, and they're like, What's going on?" I'm like, "Hi." But yeah, no, I've had that. So I mean, different variations here and there for a while now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next one.
Oh, the good old unicorn. We have two of these. We have a unicorn and we have a penis.
Oh, nice.
So the penis is quite funny when we get someone in it and make them run around. It's just, it changes the energy really quick.
Yeah.
So we break these things out when the energy's kind of wah-wah and we kind of need to shake things up.
Nice.
So, there you go.
Love it. Next one. I think you won another award there.
So that is from the sisters, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Okay.
Say that right? They wear the white makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
the sisters. They named Gossip Grill a safe space. So
beautiful.
that, and then I got my angel wings too. The same. That's actually the angel wings. So
Angel
that's what that is.
Awesome. Next one. I think that's the last one. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. This is a photo shoot for a video that Brittany was working on, my marketing director. That thing that you pass, like
Oh yeah.
the lipstick or whatever it is.
We actually have a small clip
Oh,
from
geez.
it. Let's take a look. Oh, it was at the end, right?
Should we start?
It's okay. It's our first time trying this this look, so nice. That was when you guys were promoting to stay home because
Yes.
yeah, so tell me, how have you been adapting to the pandemic?
Oh God, well, it sucks, but it is what it is. So that's the thing. It is what it is. You got to figure it out. For me, the key word this year is pivot. It is all about just pivoting constantly with everything that's changing, and then no indoor dining, and then we had bars and then didn't have bars, and it's a lot of pivoting right now.
Yes.
But the best thing you can do is be creative, think outside the box, stay positive, live in the future. I actually just caught myself last week being in that space of we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
If
Oh my
this
God, I
if
can
this
only
continues
imagine,
until
yeah.
2021, which right now it definitely looks like it is, are we going to have enough money to survive? Are we going to be? I mean, you getting that? Because
Yeah.
it is, as much as we don't like talking about it. It is a possibility for every restaurant right now that could happen. Even big powerhouses
Yes.
like Moe's Universe. But I had to get out of my way, and start practicing what I preach, and that's being grateful and looking in the future and where we're going to go. So we are now going to be launching some a variety of virtual events,
Nice.
Cocktail classes, cooking classes, liquor classes, you name it. We're going to start launching that. And we're also going to be launching a liquor box.
A liquor
box to go. So basically it's going to be an online liquor store, and we're competitive with the grocery store. So we're hoping that people would choose to support small business and help support us, because as busy as we are, it's still not enough.
Yeah, because you're used to having it packed every night.
Yeah, no nightclub. That's
Yeah,
80% of our business.
Yeah, that's a
So
big thing.
it's been really tough. It hasn't been easy, and you have to keep safety in mind and trying to keep the staff safe, and being that person. It's like you have to stay 6 foot away. I have to like preach at them sometimes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you have to stay, distance. Put your mask back on. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But it's because I care about them and I want to be healthy and I don't want anyone to get sick.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a lot. It's a balance between being safe and making money, and what's the right thing to
my
do
God.
or business is the right thing to do. Which one at that time? So
Yeah, that's rough. I feel like the only thing you can do at least is just make sure everyone is safe.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
like if you're coming, like make sure that you're not an asshole and wear your mask.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's the thing. It's just be safe. You know, we're known to be one of the safest bars right now. And we come in every morning and sanitize every single thing, every pen, everything. So it's good. I mean, it is what it is. So we'll make the best of it.
What are some of the changes that you've done, like major changes?
We've done a lot. We originally started out everything 6 feet apart. And then we realized that's not going to work for us because we really weren't making any money then. So invest in some plexiglass, you know, section everything off so everything's safe.
Yeah.
We added 2 extra patios on the sides.
Nice.
I actually got upstairs finally opened.
Oh, nice.
So
we got to check
opened.
it out. We went last week. Yeah, we went last Thursday actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. But we haven't checked out the second.
Well, the upstairs, you know, it's just one room. It only fits like 10 people total. But it's got a garage roll gate, so we're okay for it being outside. But what else? Oh, and then we're putting in a parking lane patio this week.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
I mean, we're doing the best we can.
Yeah, you know, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
And how can people support you right now? How can people support Gossip Girl?
So there's a few things. If you feel safe, please come in and see us. If that's not your jam, absolutely okay. Totally respect that. Love it. Totally get it. Thank you. We have to go. We're on DoorDash. You can order directly from Gossip's website, which then you don't have to pay the DoorDash fee. And then we're launching our merchandise here shortly in our liquor store shortly. So, you know, if you need a nice bottle of Prosecco or a nice glass of rosé, I got some at Lisa Vanderpump. It's real tasty.
Nice. And what's your website? Where can people find you?
GossipGirl.com.
GossipGirl.com. Fantastic. So now it's time for the human experience section where I'm going to ask you some more stuff about how you see life, the world. And the first one is, how would you define the meaning of life?
A crazy trip.
A crazy trip.
A crazy trip.
Pretty
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I actually I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna say it's like a sporting game.
Oh.
You know, I don't know. I think you have to be present on the field and pay attention to what's going on and move where you need to move.
Nice. I mean, since you do sports, you probably see it that way.
Probably. Things make sense for me in that way.
How do you stay grounded when you feel overwhelmed?
Well, my wife helps a lot with that as well. Yeah, for me, when I get overwhelmed, I have to go back to what works for me, and that is being grateful. Yes. You know, so when I start getting overwhelmed, I just take a second and I say 3 things I'm grateful for.
Yes.
You know, or I say thank you until I actually start feeling it and start being grateful, and it usually subsides the anxiety.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's
nice
kind of what works for me. You know, or I just have a couple cocktails and an edible.
That
works too.
That always works. Okay. And what's a belief that you hold which many people disagree?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. That's a good one, girl. I did not see that one coming. I guess right now is that just the struggle of what's going on with the movement. I don't think that no one else agrees with me on this, but a lot of my family and friends don't agree with things needing to change now, and not then just them not seeing it and not understanding why I'm so passionate about it, and why I'm so passionate also about the trans community and what is happening in with that. And so I guess that's what's different with my family for the most part, but
yeah, sometimes I know how it is with family.
It's family.
Yeah,
do my best to educate where I can.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
What life tip would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time?
Don't give anyone your power.
I love that.
Yeah, don't give anyone your power. Own it. You know, I teach orientation for Gossip Girl. You know, I do that, and I always tell them, like, if you have a penis, whip out your vagina, whatever you want to do, dildo, just piss all over it. It's yours. You own it. You own your space. Don't give anyone your power.
I love that. Can you think of a time where the impossible became possible?
Yes, 2009, when we opened Gossip.
Yes.
I didn't see that coming. I always knew. I knew in my heart. I knew. I had that like spidey sense that something was going to happen for me. I just didn't know how or what it was going to look like.
Oh my God, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, it's like I always knew. My mom actually had this crazy psychic reading when I was 10. No, not even 7 or 8.
Ooh.
And she said that she was going to have another child. Well, she had my brother, and that her daughter was going to be very successful. So I literally grew up thinking that was going to happen. Talk about a manifestation.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of, I manifested that a long time ago, I guess. I just fell into it. I just literally tripped and fell into it and then grabbed it and held on to it as hard as I could. And still riding the wave.
And here you are.
Here we are.
And what's something that makes you angry?
Ignorant people.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think that's, I mean, I get things. Like, I'm really laid back and, you know, things.
Pretty open-minded.
But, yeah. And just, I'm really patient with people.
Yes.
I got that, you know. I'm a swim coach. I got patience. But patience for just ignorant people, just,
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough because you always have to be the teacher. Like, you always have to teach people that are ignorant, like, and open up their mind. And some people are just don't understand and are not willing to see other people's points of view. Mm-hmm. So that's when you gotta just like shimmy and bye.
Yep. Okay, I hear you. Okay. See you later.
What's something that you know you do differently than most people?
I think manage. I think my style is unique and very different. I mean, I learned from the best. I mean, the way Moe's universe works, all of us work in a very positive, acknowledging, coaching sort of way where we don't wrong anyone. We want to help encourage. But I think the difference with me is me being a female, being a strong woman. I add that to them, and I'm so adamant about my girls knowing their worth and knowing that they are strong and can do anything they want and not let anyone take that away from them. So that's something that I definitely is different with me, is adding that in.
I love that. And what is one mistake that you will never do again?
Oh, I don't know. Gosh, I can't think of anything right now. I mean, I guess a lot of it is like just everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sure I've made some real stupid mistakes. But I just can't think of one right now.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. You're stopped. It's okay. Yeah. Life happens. And lastly, before we go, we're gonna do the Scarlett Letter. You're gonna pick an envelope. Okay. Open it. Answer the questions.
All right.
Oh, you got the bottom one. People always do the middle.
Oh, really?
All the time.
So when they don't, we always remark on it.
Yeah. Oh, how funny.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Thing.
What is your biggest fear? My biggest fear is failure. It really is. I'm very much about how it looks, and I know it's probably not the greatest thing, but for me, it's important because it keeps my integrity intact. It keeps my drive going. It's all about how it looks, and my biggest fear for me is not getting there and failing, and which is a very it's something that I'm confronting right now. You know, I was at a point in my life where everything was going really well and comfortable. Mm-hmm, you know, and you have to be careful when you get comfortable.
Yeah, you need to get out of that comfort.
And I kind of felt like I needed something to happen to like kind of humble me and bring me back down. And, you know, kind of like when you put gold in the little mixer thing and it goes around and gets all beat up and it comes out the other side and it's a higher grade of gold. Yeah. You know, so I was kind of feeling like something like that needed to happen. I wasn't asking for COVID. I want to make that clear. But I'm getting something from this, and I'm finding my way a little bit more. And this is a conversation right now because this can happen.
Yeah.
Not that it's going to happen because we're not going to manifest that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, this is something that is reality, is that one of our businesses could close down or even Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
So.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you being here and for this amazing interview.
Thank you. So sorry I was late, everyone.
Yeah, I've learned.
I got stuck.
Yeah, I've learned so much, and it's gonna be great to see you grow even more.
Yes.
And for the future, and just keep being an inspiration to other women.
Absolutely.
And make sure to go and support, go to Gossip, or buy a drink online, or anything.
Yeah, cocktails, everything to go, everything.
All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight. We'll see you next Thursday. Woo-hoo.